Gilson Engineering. Welcome to the Gilson Engineering Flow Lab. Today I want to talk to you about some wireless radio hardware that we have from a company called Signalfire. There's a lot of wireless radios out there today, and most of them handle I/O 4 to 20 milliamp signals or other kinds of analog signals or communications, whether it be serial or Ethernet, going from one place to another wirelessly. What's different with the Signalfire 900 megahertz offering is they are more doing wireless sensors. So we have a lot of radio offering that can tie directly to instrumentation. We can do battery powered and solar powered and do true wireless sensors. Don't need power wires, don't need signal wires. So let me show you a little bit about what we have here on the table today on the Signalfire offering in the 900 megahertz. So these are 900 megahertz radios. They are in the industrial and scientific band. That means it's a license-free band. You do not have to get a license to operate radios in the 900 megahertz frequency in the United States. So you can buy them, deploy them at will. What every system consists of is one receiver, gateway radio. This gateway radio is the master of the entire wireless network. It controls and receives all the signals from all the wireless radios. You have one gateway radio per network, and it receives all the information. It can talk Modbus serial or Ethernet into your control system or SCADA or PLC to get that information back into your system so you can read it, monitor it, and control from it maybe. The field side, we have other radios which are called nodes, and the nodes are all the field radios that talk back to the gateway. And there's a few varieties of them that I have on the table that we're going to talk about. This one is a battery-powered wireless pressure sensor. We call it the Pressure Scout. You can see here, we do have a pressure sensor built directly into this radio. If I take our cover off, you can see that we also have a battery internal. This battery is lithium-ion technology. It's a 3.6 volt battery. And it will run this device up to 10 years, depending on how frequently you take a reading. This is programmed to wake up at a pre-described interval set by the user on how often to put voltage on to the sensor and take a reading and send it back. Anywhere from 5 seconds and longer. The longer intervals in between, the longer the battery life, up to 10 years. We have here is a different node. This is called the Sentinel. This radio has the capability of doing multiple different kinds of signals into it, whether it be a 4 to 20 or a 0 to 10 volt signal for an analog. It can read heart from heart capable devices, so you can get those variables from heart through the radio. It can do Modbus. We can do discrete inputs as contacts. We can do thermocouples, RTDs. It can read pulses from a flow meter. A lot of different abilities with this radio. You can see here, we have a 1/2 inch NPT on the bottom of it, so you can directly connect to a device, or you can run a little bit of cable or conduit to remotely mount from a sensor if you want as well. When I take the cover off, you can see we do have a little antenna internal, and we do have a battery pack on the side. Same batteries in this one, we just have 3 in here instead of 1, so that we can have more power to power the instrumentation that we're connected to, whether that be a level radar or maybe a pressure sensor of a different variety than this, turbine flow meter, something like that. So this is a replaceable battery. We can get up to 10 years with this as well, again, depending on how frequently we read and power up the device it's connected to. This is bought for the sensor signal type that you want to take into it. There's multiple varieties, one for each of those kinds of signals we talked about. And I'm going to show you one here that is specifically set up in a full system for level measurement. This is a level probe. It has floats on it to read the level. We have 2 floats on this particular one so that we can read a total level with the top float and an interface level with the bottom float, which would be like an oil-water interface, something like that. This radio is specific for Modbus communications. This level probe is a Modbus communication device, serial RS-45. So this probe talks Modbus to this radio. The radio reads the Modbus registers and sends those back to the gateway so that you can read them in the control system. This level probe Comes in a few varieties. This is the rigid stainless steel version. We also have a fiberglass version for chemical compatibility, and we also have a flexible version, which is easier to install on very large tanks because you don't have such a long rigid probe to try to get in the top of the tank. One other thing we can do with this is we can actually put a third float on it, which would be a high level switch. As your redundant high level switch, in case the rest of it stops working, that will operate even if this doesn't have power. It's a relay contact, and this radio actually has an input for those relays so that you can read the Modbus and the high level redundant switches in the same radio with the same equipment. We provide it with a mount, so they mount together cleanly, and there is a cable that goes through our mount from the levels probe to the radio. That way, it's a nice clean setup. We have no power wires, we have no signal wires. It is a completely wireless level solution. We can solar power this with a solar panel that will charge the battery that will be inside. Or if you have power available, we can take 24-volt DC into the radio to power it. That's true of these as well. We can also solar panel or 24-volt DC power these. So that is a broad offering from Signalfire. We have some other capabilities, and if you'd like to see them, please get in touch with us. We'd like to talk to you about the Signalfire. Thank you. Have a good day.